Some of the biggest games on Roblox have actually been deleted, and today I'm going to break them all down. And if you're new, please subscribe, help us reach 400,000 subs. Let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, let's start with some of the biggest games on Roblox being deleted, and it's actually kind of crazy what happened. And first, we have to rewind like 2 years ago, where for some reason there was a glitch going around, where I don't know if you guys remember this, but basically, the glitch was deleting popular games straight up. Like, I don't know how that even was possible, but that's exactly what's happening. And literally some of the biggest, if not the biggest Roblox games were affected. Let me show you what I mean. So firstly was Pet Simulator X, which if I remember correctly, actually happened a little bit after the whole situation, which kind of proved that Roblox didn't really fix the issue. But as we can see here, this is what happened. One day out of nowhere, when players went to the game, it was entirely content deleted. The name was content deleted, the thumbnail was content deleted, the description, everything about the game was deleted. However, as you can see in the screenshot, people could still play the game. So a lot of people thought that maybe, you know, they had issues with the thumbnail, but the game was fine, right? Well, not exactly. If you went to play the game, it was actually deleted as well and reset to their default place. So the game was still up, but it's basically entirely deleted because you couldn't do anything with it, which is actually insane. And as we can see here at the time, Preston was kind of just angry, obviously, just saying that they don't know what happened. They're aware it got deleted, obviously. It just happened out of nowhere, which is pretty crazy. Because I remember during this time, a lot of people were actually thinking that it got deleted on purpose because Pet Simulator, obviously, they broke TOS several times. However, it ended up just being a Roblox glitch where they just deleted, you know, one of the biggest games at the time, which is crazy. And the developer had like no fault in it. And surprisingly, it doesn't end here because two other massive games got affected by this, one of which also being Piggy, which is pretty crazy. As we can see here, during that time, Cricket made a video called Roblox Deleted Piggy, so I called them. And yeah, as we can see here, once again, you went to Piggy and everything was fine this time, nothing got content deleted. However, the game was privated, and I'm pretty sure it's the same situation. Like, the game was playable, but Minitoon himself, like the person behind it, privated it because there's no point. Because once again, as you can probably suspect, when the game was playable and joinable, when people went into the game, it was once again reset to their default place, and you couldn't do anything with it, which is actually insane. And like I mentioned, this wasn't like a fault of the creator and the developers behind it. It actually just seemed to be a Roblox issue, where for some reason, I don't even know how this is possible, Roblox started resetting some of the biggest games on the platform to their default place. Pet Simulator got affected, Piggy got affected by this, and surprisingly, the next one's actually more insane because it's Adopt Me. As we can see here during this time, RTC tweeted out saying that it looks like Adopt Me has been replaced with a started place. Well, in doing so, half the players dropped. So yeah, as we can see here, once again, the game got content deleted and it was reset to their default place and everyone stopped playing the game. And once again, just like how Piggy did, they shut down and tried to fix everything, which is pretty crazy, you know? You have to think about, like, these games are obviously still very massive, but 2 years ago, a lot of these games were in their prime too. So three of like the biggest games at the time, Piggy, Adopt Me, and Pet Simulator, all got content deleted and were down for a while, and people couldn't play them at all, which is insane. Like they mentioned, Adopt Me lost most of their players that day. And obviously after a little bit, these games came back. I mean, obviously you can play them now. Even if the games came back, this did actually so much damage for them. Because since these games are so popular, the loss of players and stuff like that probably made them lose a bunch of money, and a lot of potential opportunity and money that they had during this time was all gone because the game was completely ruined. And it was even worse because it was all Roblox's fault, it seemed like. Pretty horrible, and it's actually kind of insane to see, you know, all these massive games just get deleted. It happened to Adopt Me, and then Piggy happened, and then like I mentioned, I think Pet Simulator didn't happen during this time. I think it happened a little bit after, but very insane glitch. And there's more affected too, I'm pretty sure. Smaller games and bigger games too. And speaking of which, next we got another deletion here of another massive game being BloxBurg. Like I mentioned, some of the biggest games on Roblox have literally been deleted before. Now this one also was a bit different. If I remember correctly from what I've seen, I think the game was still playable. However, it was being very glitchy and very buggy, and also everything else with the game was deleted. And during this time, everyone was freaking out. As you can see here, people are saying, did BloxBurg get deleted? People are freaking out saying they got scammed because he paid for the game. People were worried about their data. That's also another thing. Not only just for BloxBurg, but for all these games in general. A lot of people didn't know if the deletion was a glitch at the time or it was like an actual deletion. So a lot of people were very worried, being like, I got scammed, I lost so much Robux, you know, I spent all this time in Adopt Me, Pet Simulator, whatever, just for nothing. So not only were the developers concerned, but also the players were concerned too. It was kind of a big lose-lose situation here. And once again, as we can see here with BloxBurg, everyone started freaking out, and the game was also content deleted. During that time, a BloxBurg news account tweeted out saying that a couple of hours ago, welcome to BloxBurg's temporary removed from the Roblox platform. BloxBurg was not deleted. The thumbnail likely got moderated by Roblox. Save data money center will not be lost. So yeah, a lot of people are freaking out saying like, don't worry, the game's not permanently gone. But then a lot of people are also freaking out being like, oh, what if the game never comes back and stuff like that. It was a great situation. And so far, it's kind of crazy. Like, literally, the biggest games on the platform get deleted by a Roblox mistake, you know? And they all probably lost so much money from this situation. Piggy, Pet Simulator, Adobe, BloxBurg, all had like a glitch and Roblox's fault where they deleted their game. I think BloxBurg had the best out of the situation because I think their game and everything was still fine, but it did cause a lot of panic in the community still. Okay, so with that being said, I've kind of covered the Roblox popular games that were deleted because of a glitch, but now let's move to some other games that were deleted for other reasons, starting with this game right here, Rift Royale. And as you can see, it's actually by the people who made Bed Wars, and during this time they're launching a bunch of games actually. They launched this game, Rift Royale, which was like a Fortnite clone basically, and I think they also launched like Prop Hunt during this time, which is very popular, but they also took that down. And I think Prop Hunt getting taken down was their decision, but Rift Royale, the reason it got taken down actually seems to be a Roblox issue. I mean, this game was massive. They released it like quickly and then got rid of it quickly too, and it already got like 21 million visits in that time, you know, it was blowing up, but it got taken down and deleted. And if you're wondering why, the developer at the time said that Rift prototype is closed. Sadly, Rift doesn't work on Roblox. We spent a lot of effort trying to work within Roblox's restrictions to create an awesome competitive game. Unfortunately, what we want to do isn't possible on Roblox. Rules forces us to choose between having cheaters or being laggy. We're going to focus on building games everyone can enjoy. Thank you for participating. So yeah, it's actually pretty unfortunate. They didn't lose their game for like a glitch or anything like that. They lost their game just because Roblox's poor moderation, which is pretty awful because the game was blowing up, is doing very well. Now with that being said, the situation happened like a few years ago, so I'm kind of curious, like, I wonder how this game will do now with anti-cheat and stuff like that. Obviously hackers are still around, there's still a bunch of them in every game. However, I think it did help a lot of the issues, and it did, you know, stop a lot of hackers. So I'm wondering if they release this game now, how it would do, because I feel like it would deal with a lot of the hacking problems. But unfortunately, they released it when there was no anti-cheat, so they had to take the game down just because it got fully ruined. And with that being said, let's move to our next one, which is probably one of the most insane ones because this game was deleted and it never came back. And it's Weightlifting Simulator 3, which is like a classic game. I feel like a lot of you guys probably recognize this game. And it also has over 1 billion visits, but as we can see here, no one's playing the game anymore. And the reason for that is kind of crazy. I think if you join the game right now, it's just a default place firstly, but the reason it got deleted and taken down is kind of wild. So apparently the game actually got deleted and taken down because of the owner behind the game, who apparently like scam people. And actually, if you go to the game now, the group is still up. However, Avectus, the person behind it, his account's fully deleted. And as you can see here, it says that deletion. This game was struck by content deletion for unknown reasons on April 15, 2020. This was most likely because of Avectus' history of scamming users before he was terminated. And then also with that being said, this game was kind of being ruined because it followed up saying that re-uploads. In March 2021, the game and the game files were leaked and completely stolen from Avectus by many developers. This continued for months until January 2022. A Roblox developer by the name of Scriptblocks soon filed a wave of DMCA claims against all these developers. The developers kept re-uploading the games, such as Scriptblocks filing a lawsuit against Roblox and some of the developers in July 2022. So yeah, it's actually insane. The owner behind the game is like a massive scammer, and then I guess people were going against him and stealing the entire game and leaking the entire game. It was just like a complete mess because the game was being stolen left, right, and center. You know, the owner has a bad history of scamming people, and all this kind of came crumbling down, and it kind of all ended when the game got deleted and the owner got his account, you know, deleted as well, which kind of ruined the entire game. And that's why it sits there with, you know, 1 billion visits and only 1 person active or 0 people active, which is pretty insane. It's one of the craziest stories I've seen because it's such a successful game. All got ruined by like the owner and stuff like that, and also people stealing it, you know. But anyways, with that being said, let's get into our last deleted game, which is another popular game, being Raise the Floppa. And surprisingly, this game has actually been deleted like 3 or 4 times. It's actually insane. And during like their peak, when this game was doing very well like a few years ago, it actually kept on getting deleted over and over again for a bunch of reasons. It was kind of dumb. As you can see here, once again, Creekcraft made a video on this, and you can just see how the game was. It was content deleted, and you couldn't play the game at all, and everything about it was deleted. And it seemed to always happen after like updates and stuff because there would always be something else that rules would be mad at and then delete it. It was kind of dumb. As we can see here in the history, the first deletion was Roblox like assuming the game was like a scam, which was kind of stupid because it said click the Floppa for money, and I guess Roblox thought it was like real money. It was kind of stupid, and then they deleted the game for that for a few days, which is pretty crazy. Once again, they probably lost so much money from this. And then literally like a few days later, it was strike down again for DMCA copyright, which I think was false, which is once again they probably lost a bunch of money from that. And then that one I showed in the Creekcraft video, I think was the 3rd time, where it was deleted once again, and it's apparently due to discriminatory content, which is kind of crazy. And this kind of led to like that whole era, if you guys remember, where everyone was saying free Floppa and speaking out about roles for keep deleting the game because it was very annoying. Finally, after like a month of just like deletions and errors and problems, the game finally got like fully restored and came back. You know, deletion after deletion, the game probably lost a lot of money and players, you know, because they're at like their peak. But luckily, after all that, it was back and the game's doing good now still. I mean, the game kind of died, but it still holds up at least. And with that being said, that's kind of how over these years, Rules deleted some of the most popular games, which is crazy. And surprisingly, it doesn't end here. If you want to learn about more popular games that were deleted and some more insane stories, check out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.